Most people treat Sun Tzu as a mystical philosopher of the battlefield, a general who unlocked the secrets of victory. But that version misses the point entirely. When you strip away the myth-making, you discover something much more uncomfortable. Sun Tzu wasn't obsessed with winning battles. He was obsessed with avoiding them. He understood that the greatest danger to any state isn't the enemy at the gate. It's the bill that comes after. People think the art of war is about fighting. It's actually about finance. Sun Tzu lived in a world collapsing under the weight of its own ambition. Ancient China was a landscape of fractured kingdoms, each draining its treasury to try and unify the world. Armies grew into massive infantry mobilizations that required food, metal, and supply lines at a scale no one had ever seen. States weren't just fighting battles. They were conducting full-scale stress tests of their economies. Every time a king sent an army into the field, he was taking out a loan against his future. And far too often, those loans came due. Welcome to Capital in Context, where we tell the stories behind the world's most important economic and financial moments. In this world of constant insecurity, Sun Tzu emerged not as a general, but as a risk manager. He looked at the numbers and realized that the way states were conducting war was unsustainable. Victory meant nothing if the treasury collapsed. Today, we are deconstructing the financial secrets of Sun Tzu, the spreadsheet logic that modern empires still use to survive. In the ancient world, war was logistical before it was anything else. The moment an army moved, the meters started running. You needed wagons, grain, craftsmen, and blacksmiths, and every single one of them had to be fed or paid. Sun Tzu's genius was treating war as a balance sheet. He calculated supply chains and resource depletion centuries before those terms existed. But here's the catch. Distance multiplies cost. Sun Tzu warned that when your army is just 20 miles from home, you lose the price of 100 measures of grain. Maintaining an army in the field doesn't just cost money. It collapses the agricultural labor base. Sun Tzu's first rule is simple. Logistics don't support strategy. Logistics are strategy. If you can't calculate the cost, you have no business calculating the strategy. Modern governments debate intelligence budgets, but Sun Tzu framed it in terms of cost efficiency. He called it foreknowledge, but today we call it data. Sun Tzu argued that a single spy or intercepted message is the cheapest weapon available because it prevents an army from marching in the wrong direction. He understood that the misallocation of information is actually the misallocation of capital. Foreknowledge allows a wise sovereign to achieve things beyond the reach of ordinary men without burning through the treasury. When Sun Tzu says speed is the essence of war, he isn't just calling for aggression, he's describing a cost-benefit trick. Every day an army spends marching and waiting increases financial exposure. Victory delayed is money burned. By moving swiftly and using maneuver instead of attrition, a commander preserves the state's resources. His preference for psychological advantage isn't philosophical flair, it's fiscal discipline. His most famous line, "Subduing the enemy without fighting," is the ultimate principle of cost avoidance. It is the ancient equivalent of getting the outcome you want without burning your capital. Every choice a ruler makes closes the door to a cheaper choice. This is the core of opportunity. Cost. Sun Tzu praises generals who win through diplomacy or intimidation because these methods conserve the state's limited capital. He scolds leaders who treat war as a passion instead of a liability because those leaders will eventually default. Sun Tzu's warnings have echoed through every major conflict of the last 2 centuries. Conflicts from the Soviet Union in Afghanistan to the US in Vietnam weren't lost because armies were weak. They were lost because the economic model behind them collapsed. Today's tools like cyber warfare, sanctions, and proxy wars are pure Sun Tzu because they aim for maximum effect with minimal financial exposure. The deeper lesson is that states do not fail because they lose battles. They fail because they drain the capital that keeps them coherent and functional. Strength is not measured by how hard you strike, but by how much you can afford to strike. Victory is irrelevant if the treasury collapses afterward. History doesn't repeat, but if you don't understand the cost, it'll crush you all the same. If this analysis of Sun Tzu's financial genius gave you a new perspective, hit subscribe to Capital in Context. History has the answers, and I'll show you where to look.